Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, housekeeping stuff I've basically done. I'm actually getting pretty good at it. So, more power to me. Thank you very, very much. Very, very much. Um, okay. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing awesome because today we have an awesome topic to be awesomely talking about. Okay. And that subject is none other than the baby maker, Nick Cannon. So if you have something to say about Nick Cannon, because I know we all do, just join the live, click the link that I've posted, and it's been pinned. So you may have to stroll all the way up to the top, click it, be like, yeah, I got something to say about this fella, and we'll get to talking about it. Okay. I think I have done everything that I said I was gonna do. Okay, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so we're going to talk again about Nick Cannon. Please, 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 please make sure you like, you share, and you comment. Welcome to Question Time. Question Time, which is now trademarked. Super excited. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Raw News No Fluff. It's right there in the corner. It says Raw News No Fluff. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. Get notified, get subscribed to it, comment, like, view, support. Thank you. Okay, yes, so we're talking about Nick Cannon. I was actually thinking about Nick Cannon. Was it 3 days ago? I think it was 3 days ago. I was watching a show. I don't want to say what show it was, but I was watching a show, and um, one of the women who has mother one of his children is on said show, and I was like, I need to see pictures of this dude's baby's mamas because I feel like, sir, your your type is kind of telling. And that's that's all well and good. I mean, I know a lot of people had a problem with Chris Brown because they say Chris Brown doesn't do dark skinned girls. But I mean, it's his preference. There are a lot of dudes that like dark skinned girls. I'm assuming. I hope anyway. But I really wanted to see all of his kids' moms. But I was looking at her and I was like, wow, she's pretty. I don't know if she had any work done, but she's pretty. And hey, go on, go from there. And then you look at the other ones, Mariah, Bree. I think Brittany's one of them, and they do seem on the fairer or mixter side of the from the fair to the mixture side of it. I think the only, oh no, here you go. Lanisha is probably, I know a child is hers. I knew that was a child. Um, is of a darker hue. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. Welcome. Why didn't you? Oh, let's do it this way. Welcome now.
Welcome. Can you hear me?
I can.
How
I
are
like
you?
this one better. You know, living large and take a charge, big boy.
Right. I apologize. I'm not stationary right now. I had a meeting that ran over. It's been a week. I missed last week. I feel like a fish out of water.
Oh, what was last week about? Oh gosh, last week. Did you just watch it?
Okay. I heard it was good though.
Your friend, your friend Leroy.
Real to say in the building. Hold on. Let me cut some more lights on around here so they can see my beautiful brown chocolate skin that has no bumps or acne.
Right.
That's
Well,
because
rest assured, Nick Cannon and Chris Brown wouldn't want you. Anywho,
Chris Brown. What is wrong with Chris Brown?
why
What?
everybody got to say something wrong with Chris Brown? I don't think there's anything wrong with Chris Brown. He might be on something, but
So
I
aggressive.
want to say yo. Okay, so Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon is the GOAT, right? So,
Yeah, I
so
think he's winning right now. I think he's the one. I think he's in the winning the race of children. I
I,
think DMX. Oh no, Eddie Murphy has how many?
Eddie Murphy has a bunch of kids. I don't think he has as many as Nick Cannon. Or Al Pacino, who announced yesterday at the age of 83, him and his 29-year-old partner are expecting.
But Al Pacino
Yeah.
or
Robert De Niro announced 2 weeks ago at the age of 79 that he's expecting. Al Pacino, though, announced yesterday at 83 he's expecting.
who's
80,
okay? I mean, I
83
guess
years
these chicks
old.
are like, let me get this money before they kick the bucket. I guess
Folks are saying how irresponsible of them knowing that they're hastening to death. But when you think about it, these kids are going to be set. And I guess money doesn't replace a parent, but if I have to be parentless, everything is a little bit more funny with a pocket full of money. I'm just saying.
okay.
Back to Nick Cannon.
Huh.
Not just black men do that, by the way. I just want to, that's Al
Do
Pacino.
what? Have children in old age?
No, have a whole bunch of children. Because I don't think the age matters as much as it's
That's true.
both of them have plenty of children already. You
That's
know,
true. That's true.
and
That's
so
just. I don't. I guess he and Robert De Niro are like having a battle. Oh, you had one. Well, watch this.
your soldier still marching. Watch mine.
Watch them storm the castle. Okay. So Nicholas Cannon. I don't know if his first name was Nicholas, but I've decided that it is.
Right. Old Nikolai.
So let's just okay. So I don't know where to start with this guy. Okay, let's just put it out there. Nick Cannon is worth $20 million, approximately.
I was gonna look that up. That's a good place to start.
He's worth $20 million. $20 million. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. $50 million according to Celebrity Net Worth.
I
He's
thought
worth
that was
$50 million with a salary of $2 million. He was born in 1980. Okay. He has a nice height on him. He's supposed to be a comedian. I haven't found that quality in him yet.
he's
Um,
supposed to be a
he's supposed to
comedian.
be an actor. I haven't found that quality in him yet. Um,
Surely you didn't find the singer and the rapper in him.
I have not as of yet, but I have found that he is a TV personality. He is a host. I have found that. But he's supposedly worth $50 million, and I'm sure that $50 million is a benefit from his first marriage or his first and only marriage to one Mariah Carey.
Right.
Not mad at that because I think when he married Mariah, he was only worth $2 million.
Love don't cost a thing.
Unless you marry Mariah Carey.
Right. Then it costs everything.
Hello. So, but I think that shit, their prenup was like legit crazy. So, oh, let me add this also because I know where you want to go with this topic. Let
Uh-huh.
me add that Nick Cannon has 6 baby mamas and has a
Next.
total of 11 living children and one that passed at 5 months. Um, and I would, so 6 baby mamas,
Is anyone pregnant now?
probably. I don't even know. But let me tell you these children's names because they are okay. Anyway, so with Mariah, he has Moroccan and Monroe. Okay, with Golden Saigon.
Isn't that
I'm
crazy?
sorry, not Golden Saigon. With Brittany Bell, he has Golden Saigon. The next, what?
What a name.
Oh no! Keep listening. The next one is Powerful Queen, born in 2020, December 3rd,
Are these the
2020.
real names of his children?
Yes, Powerful Queen. The one after that is I gotta move this out of the way. Zion Mixolydian, and his twin, Zilganair. Zilgan is her first name. Air is the second name.
Can I just say this as somebody who was pro Nick Cannon when this broadcast started? The name of these children are really making me readjust my thinking about being pro Nick Cannon for the sake of this conversation.
Okay, yep. Just hold on to that. Hold on to that. The next one is Zen Cannon. Okay, born June 23rd, 2021. Oh, the twins were born on June 14th, 2021. Zen was born June 23rd, 2021.
Sweet Jesus.
Legendary Love was born in July 2022. We have Onyx Ice Cold Cannon, born September 14th,
That you
20.
promised that kid's name.
That's his name. And then you have Rise Messiah Cannon. After which you have Beautiful Zeppelin. Then you have Halo Marie. Okay, a normal one, kind of. And that's the youngest, born on December 14th, 2022, about a month after her sister in November, about a month after Rise Messiah in September 2022. Oh, wait, Onyx Cole. Oh, which is probably a couple of days before Onyx Ice Cold. So, yeah. So let's talk Nick Cannon.
I think that that just took all the air out of my sail.
I know.
I think so. The premise of my thought as it pertains to Nick Cannon was this: that the women are not as crazy as people make them sound, and that Nick Cannon is not as irresponsible as people make him sound. Because the question I posed was, if someone, a normal person, wanted you to raise their child, be a nanny, and they paid you $100,000 a month, would you do it? Then I said, but what if they wanted you to be their surrogate too? To carry the child, to have the child, and raise the child, would you do that for $100,000 a month? And even if the women, the best thing they're getting out of this situationship with Nick Cannon is that they are carrying his child and raising it because he is active, so they say, so many of them say, that it's still not a bad stick for them because they're getting $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
They enjoy the love time with Nick, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see it as a a negative. If you take off your religious hat, which I don't take off, but I don't see it as a negative for these women. These women are set, and these children are set.
Okay. For the time being, like, you have to keep in mind that Nick Cannon has lupus, which is inheritable.
Is there any information that says how much he pays them?
He doesn't pay child support. He said, verbatim. Let me pull that up. Nick Cannon says he doesn't pay child support for his 12 kids. My money is their money. Nick Cannon funds his kids his own way. The Masked Singer has told the Jason Lee podcast listeners earlier this month that he is not on child support that is run by the government. So he doesn't pay child support. Whatever he makes, they get.
That's even better. So the whole bank is open to him.
It's not, though. Whatever his children want, not the women. So if I talk about I need money for this Porsche, for this Bugatti, he ain't gonna be like, here you go.
I bet you
broke.
ain't none of them riding around in Hondas.
I doubt. Yeah, I'm sure they're not riding around in Hondas, but they not riding around in Bugatti. But one of his baby mamas says she got money. I mean, Mariah not asking him for nothing. So technically that's 5 baby mamas. The
Right.
one that's a realtor, she says she has money. So she does, so that doesn't matter for her. So now he's down to 4 women. He'd be broke.
Yeah, but do you think they're like, because there's one that has, okay, there's multiple ones that have,
One has 3.
one has 3, the twins, and then another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one has 2 at 2 different times, correct?
No, Mariah has 2. That chick has 3. That one has 2.
Right.
That's one. That's 2 baby mamas.
Do
So
you,
yeah, somebody has to have. Yeah, somebody else has to have. One of them had 2, but not together.
correct. Do you
But
think
whatever.
that they would come back and do this again if there was no benefit to them?
No, I'm sure they're sleeping with him because I'm sure every chick in the greater Los Angeles area is like, let me walk around. Hopefully, I see Nick Cannon because he is clearly giving babies out.
Do you think that as a business, a business, I hate to say a business because that sounds like prostitution, right? Do you think
It's legal in some states.
do you think that that it's why that a woman is unwise if he actually? I'm not saying a random woman trying to put herself in the way of Nick Cannon because that just sounds weird. Um, let's talk about your mom. So talk about your mama and what she said today.
This man had the nerve to ask my mama this question.
I asked your
My
mom
mama. Ha!
if I asked your mom if she was guaranteed $100,000 a year,
A
would
month.
a month would she raise someone's child?
And she said yes.
Right. Um,
But
and
then you
she
changed it.
and
But
then I said, would you carry the child and raise your child for that person?
and she said no.
She and then she said she would need $5 million up front to guarantee that she wasn't doing it without the funds, which to me sounds like a yes with a clause in it.
It's a yes with a clause in it. And I can dig that clause.
So you're saying that all the women who we call crazy, silly, stupid, if they got 5 million or maybe not even 5 million, a substantial amount up front to do it, that changes the game.
I think we changed the game for a lot of people. I personally wouldn't. I don't think I would do it. Not for Nick Cannon. I just wouldn't do it. Because he literally has a genetic disease. And I'm not saying people with lupus should not have children. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you increase the likelihood of someone else having lupus. Like you're having
Lupus is hereditary?
I believe it is. Let me look. That's a good question. Is lupus hereditary?
And Nick Cannon had lupus.
It tends to run in families, but the inheritance pattern is unknown.
So it's possible, probable.
It won't. Yeah.
So I feel like the only negative to Nick, but I say that's negative. I think it's a negative to all fathers. Whenever you have multiple children in multiple households, you can't kiss all of them goodnight.
No, but this right.
Someone's gonna get less time. I think the way people berate Nick Cannon and these women, because I was they take these women through the ringer like they're psycho and crazy, but there are women who are doing a very similar thing to men who are not as wealthy, men who are not as affluent, and men who can't provide that much security.
What do you mean? Like they don't want, I don't think they want, I don't think people aren't berating these men who are doing that, who are having multiple children.
My point exactly. They're not. We know four or five guys from the hood that have multiple.
Yeah, they trash
from different women, and we don't call these women idiots, or we don't call these.
Don't. Who don't?
So you think, generally speaking,
I'd be more inclined to call the people in the hood dummies than I would Nick Cannon's baby mamas because they're benefiting from it.
That
They
was my
didn't have babies with no broke dude that can't do nothing for his kids. And you know what? When I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't with Nick Cannon, but Shannon Sharp, Jimmy Butler, Laz Alonso, how many y'all want?
That's because you're not a Nick Cannon fan.
That's exactly why. I don't think he's attractive.
Would you be a surrogate for a millionaire? Period. Could a millionaire and his wife who can't conceive impregnate her egg, put it in you, and you carry it for them?
No. My sister, I would do it for my sisters, but not some random person.
You would do it for your sisters and not a millionaire?
No, I ain't checking on my body for no random.
If they paid you,
I don't know. No, I don't think I would. Now, if you know a millionaire that would like to
you want to test that theory, huh?
test that theory, but like I said, Shannon Sharp can get all the children he wants from this. Jimmy Butler can get out. Hello.
Do you think that Nick Cannon is irresponsible? Because that's the argument.
I do think Nick Cannon is irresponsible because he said he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't
Does
have
he
a plan.
need a plan with $50 million?
You're worth $50 million. How is your will set up? How is your beneficiary set up? How is all that stuff set up? Yes, you need a plan. He said he ain't got no plan.
So you think a single dad is irresponsible that doesn't have a plan?
A single dad is
a dad of one child. A dad of a singular one child is irresponsible without a plan.
No, because technically everything, if he doesn't have his junk set up. No, if he doesn't have his junk set up, then yeah, he's irresponsible. Prince was irresponsible.
Prince was irresponsible.
He didn't have a will. That's irresponsible.
I agree. But I also think that we cannot deny that Nick Cannon, these women are not, one of them complains. There's not a defector.
True. Very true.
There's not a defector at all. I have a guess, a quiet guess. So she says there is one that complains.
Who? Mariah? Who?
Mariah too rich to complain. I don't think she cares.
Well, I don't care about that.
That may not even be Nick's kids. That may not even be Nick's kids for all we know. But I think that because she had options. She always had options.
She still has options.
Right. And she got rid of him and was dating a billionaire and almost married him. To let Nick know, I got options.
And I got better options.
Right, exactly. Why my love do cost a thing, and if it will next time. I just think that he represents a greater ill in American society because there are a lot of people. I think these children may be emotionally damaged. Now that I'm thinking about it, because of maybe I don't like Nick Cannon either. Because of I think because of the internet, they're not going to outlive these stories.
Right. But, and I'm going to flop. I'm going to switch sides. Not for long. Don't worry, I'm coming back. I do feel like he seems like the guy, based on what you see on TV and what he says, his children will know each other. And they're probably like comparing who has the stupidest name, but they'll still see each other, you know?
Right.
And they'll still have that community. But it's going to be some child he's showing more attention to. It's going to be some child's mother he's showing more attention to. And there's going to be more because Nick is what, 42?
40, going on 43. He'll be 43 this year.
There'll be more children. Al Pacino. Hello.
Of course. But I think, though, that and from what I understand, he's not a polygamist in the sense that these people are not all in a relationship with him and coexisting, with one another. It seems to me these are just his options that he keeps open, and he has a string, and sometimes he goes back and gets another one. But for me, it would be interesting if my sister came home and said, I met Nick Cannon, and I'm kicking it with Nick Cannon.
Like you on birth control?
Would I scream to her, get away from that? Or I'd be like, you're grown. I mean,
I'll be like, you grown. You wrong.
Right, because you can't encourage him too much without seeming like you're encouraging gold digging.
Me saying you grown is not me saying, girl, you better have a baby real quick because you know he got that money. He worth, hold on, girl, he worth $50 million, girl. If you the first one to put him on child support, go do that, girl.
I wonder what he's saying to them for them not to put him on child support.
He's giving them whatever they want. With limits, I'm sure with
But I
limits.
mean, isn't that life though? Isn't that what you should do with the woman you have children with?
I think so. As a woman, I'm going to say yes.
So Nick Cannon is a hero then, according to your statement. If Nick Cannon is doing what he's supposed to do with his children and the woman, they're secure financially. They get whatever they want. Nick Cannon really should be teaching classes.
On how to have children. There's no class that needs to be taught about how to have children, how to get somebody pregnant. Nick Cannon had 4, maybe 5 children in the time frame of October, November, 3 months, 4 months. He had 5 kids. That's irresponsible. Because clearly you're not wearing condoms. One, I know you didn't get yourself checked in between each woman because that doesn't matter anyway, because that whatever has to matriculate within you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Somehow when you did that, I felt like I had COVID when you came back down the second time. Whatever it was, you sent it back from me.
What? It was the Nick Cannon. Put it back where it belongs. So that's his irresponsibilityness. And plus, I just don't like, why are you having all these kids, my guy? Like, what is the reason? Like, you just refuse to pull out? Like, you just refuse to not? Like, what is it?
So, I'm not going to get into people's business.
I think it will help to know how many women he slept with and did not get pregnant.
And that's, I was just going to say something you said that was interesting to me. You said about how many he had in a 5-month period. I mean, that really is saying that he may have had a string or a month or 2 or 3-4 months where he may not have I can say that in a PG version, he may not have as an active roster always, because if he were literally at random or at tandem with multiple randoms, he could have 30 children in a year's time.
Right.
With the amount of women who are in Wild 'N Out crowds who would faint at the opportunity. It's so crazy to me that you are so disgusted by Nick Cannon. That is absolute. And what is it? Is it his personality quirks? What is?
He's unattractive. He's lame to me. And I probably should say this because I might be in a mood with him one day.
Right.
But he's just lame. Like, he is so lame to me.
You're gonna be the 11th or 12th baby mama. You're gonna meet him and he's gonna be like
rebuked.
He's gonna be like, why you ragging on me, Brandy? And you're gonna be like, oh, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm honest. I like honesty. People aren't honest with me. I'm gonna always tell you the truth. Let me take you out so you can tell me more truth. I'll tell you. And before you know it, you'll be giving birth to sonogram Scion.
Sonogram X-ray.
Right.
And the next thing you know, sonogram X-ray gonna be receiving child support payments.
So you put them on child support. What do you think they should require from Nick Cannon?
What do you mean?
Like, outside of money, what should these women be requiring from Nick Cannon outside of money?
Spending time with your child.
In a group setting with all the children or individually?
However you want to work, you need to spend time with your child. I don't see Nick Cannon hanging out with 12 kids by himself.
One of our co-hosts who's not on this week, we were having this conversation, and she was saying that Nick Cannon's schedule requires him to be up by 3 a.m. at the studio by 4, and he's usually working to after 11 because he hosts. I mean, you got America's Got Talent. He has the new show Shazam that he's doing since Jamie's been done.
He doesn't do America's Got Talent anymore. He does Masked Singer.
Masked Singer, Wild 'N Out, Shazam. Is there anything else he's on TV hosting?
He has his podcast.
Does he host American Idol still, or does he not host that anymore?
I don't know. That show still on? I don't know.
He owns what?
He has a podcast though.
Hold on one moment. Does Nick Cannon own Nickelodeon?
No. Heck no.
I didn't say that. Somebody else said that, but I thought
I'll
that was.
look it up though. I doubt it.
If he owns Nickelodeon, he's definitely worth more than $50 million.
Right. Paramount Media Network. Yeah, Paramount Media Network. Nick Cannon does not own any Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was around before Nick Cannon was born, probably.
He was on Nickelodeon. All that. That's how he got.
He was on all that. That just tell you he wasn't good because I don't remember him.
He's the chairman of what? Oh, he's the chairman of Team Nick. So maybe that's where they get the Nick.
No, that's been there.
Yeah, but you don't remember Nick Cannon on all that? That's how Nick Cannon got discovered. He was after the Keenan and Kel years. Nick Cannon started Friday nights, all that. Snick. Is it Snick or something? I don't know. Are you Googling that to read?
In 1998, he became a featured cast member on All That and became a regular. I wasn't watching it then. It was trash.
I can't. Yeah. That's where Nick Cannon became famous, right here in Orlando. He was in Orlando a lot. I actually met him when I used to be I was a child actor. I don't know if you knew that or not. I have some credits, some Barney episodes to my credit and things of that nature. But anywho, yeah. But I think that Nick Cannon, it's only irresponsible when you can't care for your children. And outside of the one questionable baby mom, like I said, I have reports that one of them has negative to say. Seems like they are in heaven with their situations with Nick Cannon and these children. They get great children. They get a portion of whatever. Because even if he doesn't have an estate planner, let's say it goes to probate. Why are you looking like that?
If his estate goes to probate, you know what? Let me Google that before probate is not, y'all. I'm telling y'all now, as a realtor, probate is the worst.
I agree, but let's say a third goes to the
people
lawyer and they split the rest of it. Those children are still going to be great.
Not necessarily. The order in which. Hold on. Now okay, talk while I find this, because I don't think that's the case, Brian.
All I'm saying is I am Team Nick because I think that there's something in Nick Cannon that's hurting. I also believe there's a reason that Nick Cannon wants all these children. I don't think it's a duty of that he sees it as a calling to replenish the earth. So I think there's something else going on with Nick Cannon. And I think he just feels like some people collect cars, some people collect dogs, some people collect cats, some people collect coins, and Nick
he collects children. That's creepy.
He collects kids.
That's creepy. You know what? Before I don't see. Okay, well, I don't see the order of that it goes, but I believe the order is, if you don't have a will, it goes to, I want to say, your parents. If you don't have any living parents, it goes to your siblings. If you don't have any siblings, it goes to your children.
I think that's incorrect.
Well, what is the order? If somebody comment, what's the order?
If you look up next of kin, I think it's your children, then your
probate don't go. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's, and I'm just thinking in Florida funeral service. Hold on. Let's see here.
Okay, so it prioritizes your surviving spouse or domestic partner, followed by your children, then your parents. Okay, so you're right. The surviving spouse, and then his children, then parents, siblings. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, I'm glad you found that.
And then, but he has 12 children that are going to be upset or fighting this thing.
Do you? I think that we're projecting that on it. What if they're raised in perfect sibling harmony? I think he's raised in a tribe. I think they're good, man. And I'm not saying I'm for this or this is the standard or this is a model that should be followed, but there's nothing to suggest that his children, and I guess you won't know until they're older, right? Because I think there probably is going to be one or there's. Do you know? Okay, I'm thinking, and I want you to read my mind without saying a name. There's an individual from the neighborhood in Altamont who has umpteen children, somewhere between 12 and 18. He's currently incarcerated. He has the name of a god. All right. Recently, just recently, one of his children made a Facebook post that had everyone talking because he talked about, you know what I mean? So what, you threw money at all of us. So you weren't there for this, and you weren't there for that, and you weren't there for this. So there's very,
Is he in jail?
yeah,
Oh, I thought he got out because he like made a
yeah.
deal.
Right now, he had time here, and then he had time upstate. But my
Mhm.
point was, he literally, his sons got to a point. Yep, he always was there. Even when you had these stints in and out of jail, he always left rental properties and income, and they did not, none of them want for anything. But he said that there was hurt and anger and resentment in him because he wasn't there. Is that possible for Nick Cannon's children? Yes. So I'm not saying this is the model, but that is yet to be seen. We can't project that because who knows? Once, well, how old is Nick's oldest children with Mariah?
11.
And everyone else is after that.
Very much.
By the time those kids are 13, 14, he could be, taking less gigs, all kind of stuff.
But you still missed the first 11 years of their life. Not saying he wasn't there,
Right.
but you also have to consider he is splitting his time amongst 12 children. Even if you have two in the same area, you're giving one more attention than the other. And that's just children. Children require a different amount of attention. But oh, somebody about to cook. Okay. But yeah, I think that happens when you get not even 13, 14. And plus with those two children, their mom is Mariah, so they're traveling everywhere. They have plenty of they're probably not even thinking about that man.
Do you think she has a schedule that allows her to be an active mom? Ain't nobody blaming Mariah. She probably just as busy as Nick Cannon is.
Nah.
I think people do that to men. If I think no one, Diana Ross, she raised her children on the road as a popular singer. Tina
Mhm.
Turner, were they considered to be neglectful?
You just said they raised their children on the road with them. So the answer is no.
Right.
Nick making children on the road with him.
And leave them on the side of the road
Hello.
with their mom.
Promising to be back.
Yeah, I think that it is a very unfortunate truth that he can't be everywhere. But I don't know. I mean, single family homes and what used to be considered called a broken home, they don't even consider it a broken home. It's just a single parent home. Those are such the norm. I don't think children have the same social anxieties because of it, and I don't think it affects them the same.
Right, but you got to go back to when Ashley was talking about how men in the household versus single fathers versus single mothers, how valuable and how needed the father figure is in a household. Nick is not in these 6 households.
So you're saying that they're in a worse situation because the parent that they don't have is the father.
Right. And the parent that they don't have is the father that he's not right up the street. He's working from like you said, 3 in the morning to 11 at night. These kids are asleep. And
Would you
you don't really have an off season.
would you judge a long distance truck driver just as harsh as you're judging Nick Cannon right now?
A long distance truck driver who's gone for what?
A week or 2 or 3 weeks at a time, making great money, but mom is home with the children.
And then he's home for how long?
Usually they're home for a week and then they're back on the road.
And how much time is he spending with them during that week?
Hold on one moment. My guest co-host. So how many weeks? So they're home 3 weeks. Yeah, but then how many weeks is he home? Yeah, home 1 week, gone 3 weeks. Does that person get judged just as bad? And that person ain't making near as much as Nick Cannon.
Does he have 6 children, 6 baby mamas?
So that's the problem. We care about Nick Cannon as a boyfriend, not a dad, because we're moving the ball now.
No, we don't. This truck driver.
Does that
how many baby mamas does he have? How many kids does he have? Is he being able to spend that week where he's home with his kids?
Right, because if he's only home a week and he has 11 children, he can't. Somebody's not going to be. Yeah,
somebody's getting less time.
I got you. That makes sense. That's a good argument. I'm going to agree with you when you're right, even when I don't want to.
And it's okay. And Nick Cannon is taking care of his kids. I'm sure of that. I'm not sure of that, but I'm sure that is probably more than likely true. He's taking care of his kids. Cool. But like, dude, you have no plan. You're literally just having children. That's irresponsible. That like, and you have no reason why you're having all these kids.
You're not gonna get me to say that's irresponsible. I think it's irresponsible to have children you can't pay for or afford. But I think it may be I think it may be unorthodox. But Nick Cannon, at the end of the day, just because if Nick Cannon wanted to never work again, he could do that and still downsize and take care of all of his children, and they'll live better than most children. I think that he's irresponsible when he can't afford them. And according to these women, and I don't know, these women could be like R. Kelly brainwashed. They could be lying to these news outlets when they say he's active. But I do know this. When he has birthday parties and stuff, maybe he's putting on for social media, but they all are there. They all get together. So I don't know. You know, they're in a community together.
You know why they all get together?
Why?
Because it's a community birthday party.
So let me ask you this. A man who's wealthy, who doesn't want to settle down, who is playing the field, dating multiple women, because he doesn't want to settle down, and he can do that. Take him out, fly him out, do this, that, and other. He can do that. He just can't have children with him, even if he can afford the children. Their love can't be expressed that way. You're saying that's the irresponsible part. The having the children.
And they can do whatever the heck they want. But ultimately, you're affecting these children. It's great. It's great when dad comes. It's a wonderful thing when dad comes. It's great. Everybody, you forget that dad hasn't been there for the last 3 days because dad's here now. You forget it as a child. But as an adult, it's like, what were you doing that you couldn't be here to see me? Like, whose house were you at? Were you at Kiki's house 2 days a week instead of the one? Because they each get a day technically, and he get 1 day to himself.
Right. I think that, and that's a good point. Because at the end of the day, those children will not care how much money they spent, the fact that college was paid for, any of those things. I can see that. At the end of the day, those children will care that they had a dad who was active in their life. I agree with that.
Right. It's all about quality time.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, and that's a problem, though. That's
It is, because he's not going to be able to give them that quality time. He's just not. And say he does have the option to stop working. He does if he's doing right with his finances, right?
yeah.
But what are the chances that Nick Cannon, who thrives on attention,
You're a Nick Cannon hater.
I'm not. What are the chances that
You're-
any celebrity is going to be like, you know what? I got enough money. I'll just sit down and chill. I mean, if that were the case, Bill Gates would sit his behind down
and so would
and do nothing. And who?
Elon Musk.
Right. But no, and we're focusing on Nick Cannon, so I'm talking about Nick Cannon. He's not gonna let the attention. I think he's an attention whore,
Yeah.
and that's evident on Wild 'N Out. He's an attention whore, and he's not going to give up that limelight for his kid. I don't believe that Nick Cannon will give up the limelight for his children. Nor will he give it up to settle down.
Right.
And if he's smart, and if he's any kind of smart, he's not going to, so that he can accumulate as much money as possible so that his kids won't have to work. Because, I mean, 50 million split between even 15 people, it's not at that, it's not $50 million.
Right. I agree 1010% with that. I think you may have converted me.
Oh, there's your friend, Dr. Jackson.
Woo! I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry.
Hello. But I mean, if Nick Cannon want to have kids, I would like you said before, like I said before. Oh shoot, let's take a moment real quick. Question. First of all, condolences to DC Young Fly.
DC Young Fly, condolences to him.
Right, his wife passed, supposedly getting a mommy makeover.
A mommy makeover.
At the age of 32, they had 3 kids.
Gosh.
So huge condolences to that. That's just sad. Like, that's sad. So yeah. Actually, let me bring that into this conversation. If one of his baby's mamas passed yesterday, who's getting the kid? You think Nick's taking that kid?
Do I think he I think he should.
Not should he? Do you think Nick is taking that kid?
I think 1000%. If any, first of all, if any, I'm saying this as a person that's dealt with it. If anyone passes away, the other parent should get automatically.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that is exactly how that works. Now in Florida,
because they don't want it.
And since 2000, so remember in Florida or in other places, it was just the law. When something happened to you, you went to your grandparents, your mom's mom and dad. That was just the way it happened. Now it's not like that. Parents, if you have a living father, lost parental rights due to abandonment, neglect, abuse, being unfit. I think it's crazy that people feel like a father is not 100% a parent just as much as a mom. There's no. These are kids. These. What are you talking about?
Who said that?
I don't know. That's what I got from even the question of.
No, you do not. Even if the father has sole custody of a child and he passes away, and they ask the mom if she wants the child, she can say no.
She can. Yeah.
She can say no. And that's what the adoption system is for. So what I doubt Nick gives his children into the system, but I don't see him taking that child in. Maybe he buys a full-time nanny mom, or sees if one of his other 5 baby mamas want the child, and I'll just pay you extra this month.
That was another part of the question from yesterday that originally we talked about with Nick Cannon. Is what's the difference between what Nick Cannon is doing and rich, wealthy women who have nannies? I talked about a friend of mine who recently, his brother recently signed a National Football League contract worth $22 million
Mm-hmm.
outside of his endorsements. If you do the math on that over the next, I think it's a 5 year contract or 4 year contract, whatever it is, he's going to be making a little like $362,000 a week. And I said to the mother yesterday that I was talking to about Nick Cannon, who was saying, "Oh, Nick is irresponsible." And I'll pose this question to you women: if you were married to me, just think, just let that soak in for a little bit.
I don't
That,
want it to.
that's enough to get you excited all by itself. Being married to me, I
Yep.
think
Okay.
that
Okay.
the dates, the parks. But anyway,
It's
if
the confidence for me.
if you
Okay.
if you were married to me and I made $300,000 a week, would you hire nanny? Would you really be raising our children?
That's $106,000 a week, but that's still a lot of goddamn money. Go ahead.
Would you hire a nanny?
Yep.
Would that nanny have the majority responsibility of raising, feeding, dealing with your child?
Yep.
I wish your sister was on here. She
I'm
was.
the nanny though. I will be putting that check into my account. I will be taking care of my own child. You can pay me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I
I
will
would
be,
take care of my own kid at that point because then I wouldn't have to work. What?
No. You wouldn't have to work anyway if you're married to a millionaire, right?
That's what I'm saying. But I wouldn't need to hire a nanny.
especially for one child, even two. Now, if you got six of them things running around, you might want to get some help.
Yeah, if it was
But
6 of them, maybe.
Right. If you
y'all,
got quite
But
two kids.
for
You
one or
might want
two,
help.
I'm already doing that by myself.
Uh-oh, he done got booted out. He mad. Well, while he's gone, what are your thoughts on Nick Cannon out his
And all his 15 kids.
he only has 12 for now. He'll probably have the next 3 in the next 2 months.
I don't know if he will have, I don't know. Will he have more? Because the way how he is feeling right now, the way how he's talking right now is the fact that he can't, it's, he is regretting having all his kids in separate places and not being able to spend equal time with all of them.
Oh, where is he?
But
Where is Jay when he needs to hear this? Uh-huh.
because, I don't know, do you know Country Wayne?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Country Wayne got 10 kids. I think 3 baby mamas, 3 or 4. But what he did was he moved them close together.
Like in the same
And
neighborhood?
in the same neighborhood, got them their own houses. He don't care if they have their other boyfriends or whatever coming in the house, because at the end of the day, he just want to make sure that his kids are close together. His baby moms, they all get along,
Mm-hmm.
and they watch the kids for each other. So it's like, so whatever it is, he figured it out.
And okay, and I couldn't be mad at that. I couldn't
Exactly.
be mad if Nick
Listen,
Cannon had his kids in the neighborhood.
I have always said that I will gladly, as much as I say that I don't want any more kids right now, as much as I say that I don't want any more kids, if an Arab prince came and gave me an offer, how many kids you want, Zaddy?
And
Because
he asked
I
me
know
earlier,
I wouldn't have to work no more and my kids would be taken care of.
and that's what he said earlier. He was like, "Would you, if you're getting $100,000 a month, have somebody's child, a millionaire's child, for $100,000 a month?" I'm like, if it's Shannon Sharp, Jimmy Butler, like Lance Alonso, if it's one of them, sure. But I couldn't do Nick Cannon, and I've already assessed that that's because I find him unattractive. I wouldn't want to see. He would annoy me. I'd be like, just take the kid and leave, please. Just he'll be outside on the curb waiting for you.
Yeah, but that's the problem with Nick Cannon right now, is the fact that he is struggling with the fact that he is unable. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. He's struggling with the fact that he's unable to spend equal time with all his kids because they're sprinkled all over the US.
Right. And that's
So
what,
he'll be
right.
he'll be going to this one's football game. If all of their proms are, because all of them are around the same age group, so all their proms gonna be around the same time.
5 of them, their prom is going to be the same year.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of them are the same age. You
And
can't be everywhere. You can't be in 5 different states at the same time, let alone 10.
right. It's friggin' irresponsible. And I'm going to stick to it. And he's like, so did you see when he was asking about the truck driver, 3 weeks on, 1 week off? Would you call him irresponsible? Because the whole thing is Nick works a lot. He's always
Okay.
working. So he can't really spend time. He doesn't have the time to spend with his kids. Of course, he can probably make the time when he has some sort of off season, but is there really an off season because you're always filming, especially if you're doing 4 different shows? So do you think
See what
I'm sorry?
to see how I feel? I would be a baby mama to Nick because you're never there. You're not bothering me. And my kids, my bills are paid, my bills are taken care of. And you ain't gotta be there. Think about it though. You say you don't really like him like that. Then you don't really have to deal with him.
But
He ain't there.
when I do, oh, even that
It's once in a while.
they'll be on the curb.
Cause right now I'm looking for a sugar daddy that don't need no sugar to pay off these student loans.
Girl, if you find one, let me know if he has a brother, uncle, granddaddy.
So right about now, Nick Cannon is looking quite attractive with that with that proposal. Because if that will take care of these student loans, girl,
You got to pay off my student loans
and my house.
Girl, I could. I don't think I could. But yeah, so you don't deem him irresponsible
Do I deem him irresponsible?
for having all them kids?
I do. I absolutely do. Okay, I find him irresponsible as a person who's not playing an active role in all his kids' lives. However, he is providing for all his kids. So in that aspect, he is not irresponsible because there's a lot of dads out here who are not even doing that.
Right.
So in that aspect, he's responsible because of the fact that he's actually minding these children financially.
But
he is not present.
Exactly.
But he's not present, which it can present many more challenges as far as the rearing of those children.
Right. And I think your time is more valuable than your money. Sure, money does provide certain comforts, but kids need their parents. I don't care. I don't care how much money you have. Not having your parent does not benefit a child.
Agreed.
So Nick need to stop.
But you see, like how Country Wayne is open to his baby mamas being with other. What about these kids now being raised by other men? How does Nick Cannon feel about that? Like if these women get involved with other men, how is he gonna feel when these men are spending more time with his kids than he is?
Oh, he's gonna be sick.
Because now he done had all these kids saying, "Oh, I'm gonna fulfill my duty as replenishing and populating the earth." However, now you have other men raising your kids,
right? And they're like,
because that's usually when they start having a problem.
Right?
Because the men will be absent. The men will be absent. Let them find out you have another man raising their kid. That's when they suddenly want to pop up and be like, "Oh,
hey, I'm coming to get." And little man is like, "Well, I'm going with him. So next time, I'm sorry, what's your name again?" Nick. Yes, Nick. We'll be back. Nick gonna be
that part.
Nick gonna be. I mean,
but that's what you get. Unless you're gonna take all these women, mind you, these women that he got pregnant are all women who do well for themselves already.
Right.
So these are not like broke bastards or anything like that, like, sharing off the corner. They're not homeless women. These are women who come from good families. And they just basically, they were like, okay, I'm okay with having a child with him because, they know that their kids will be taken care of.
So,
They,
do you think all of these kids were planned?
oh, they were all planned. There was a whole special about how the fact that they were all planned. There's I forgot what Shan Booty.
Okay,
Her,
that's the
her
name.
name's Shan Booty. If you go on YouTube and look her up, and she's talking to a few, I think it's a few of Nick Cannon's children's mothers, and how the situations were planned. So it wasn't an accident. He didn't just go, these children were planned.
So that further tells me that he's irresponsible. I mean, think about it. You plan to have children in New York, Atlanta, Oklahoma, California, Oregon, New Mexico, friggin' North Dakota. Did you not plan on how you would spend time with these kids? Did you not plan on how you would be co-parenting with these women? Did you not plan?
Was Nick Cannon's father in his life?
I'll Google it and see.
Because that's another thing, is that, has he ever seen it done? Because that's a lot of the problems also. It's like a lot of men whose fathers weren't in their lives are out here having babies and did not try to get vetted on how to be a good father first. And they have not seen it.
No, Nick Cannon's father did not take care of him. Nick's paternal grandparent took care of him. His father's father took care of him.
Each one teach one?
Girl, I am through with you. That's all I gotta say about Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
I look forward to working with you one day, but bruh, he needs to be stopped. And he also states that he has no plan. Like, he doesn't have a plan. So your kids are planning, but you have no plan. You plan, but you don't plan. What?
As far as he's concerned, he has fulfilled his purpose.
You fulfill your purpose when you have one. And you lucked up and had two on your first go. Your purpose was fulfilled twice times immediately, sir.
And then he decided to multiply.
Literally, like you multiply exponentially. He multiplied exponentially.
There's a point where he had like 3 of them pregnant at the same time, right?
Girl, the last 4, one was September. No, 2 were in September. One was in November. The other was in December. The most recent
4?
one was in December.
So 4 were pregnant at the same time?
Maybe 5.
So you dipping in 5 women at the same time, raw? At the same time? Within weeks of each other?
Like,
well, if you like it, I love it, I guess.
Oh, I don't love it. I'm trying
Well, listen, these women knew, though. It's not like these women did not know. They knew. They knew. Because at that point, he already had 5 kids. No, at that point, he already had 7 kids with 7 different women. No, 7 kids with 6 different women.
Right. Somebody has 3 kids. This one had a baby in 2022 September. This one had a baby. So there's 2 that are in June. Okay. In August, somebody had a baby in 2022. Now, it was more than 5 of them pregnant at the same time. God, dog, man. Whatever, Nick. Look, I'm just gonna sum it up like this. Enough is enough, friend. Enough is enough.
But look, Lil Wayne did almost the same thing too.
He did what?
Look how many kids Lil Wayne got. And look at who he had babies with.
How you spell his name? Lil Wayne kids. Let's see. Okay.
Dwayne Carter.
Hmm.
Isn't his name Dwayne Carter? What's
Dwayne.
Lil-
He has four. He only has 4 kids.
Lil Wayne?
Hmm.
He has one with Lauren London, one with
Nivea,
Olivia,
and he's with that
one with
model
and
chick,
Toya.
right? And then you have the Denise something, the plus size model.
So he only has 4. Who is it Eddie Murphy who got a whole bunch of kids?
He got a whole bunch of kids. I can't think. Future had it. I think Future has 7. Offset.
Future got 7? Ooh. Yeah, I know Future has a few, but I don't know how many people. I don't know how many. I know he has a few because he has one with Dimples, Black China, one with Sierra,
one with
Jenner, right?
Oh,
No.
I don't know.
Never mind. Just playing. That's Travis Scott.
But he has one with the girl who had Bow Wow's baby.
Yes.
He has 1, 2, 3. He only has 4 kids.
Okay. This is, you see, but the thing is, now we downplaying men who have 4 kids by 4 women.
No,
like this is.
I mean, that
like
is
this is
a bit downplayed because 12.
It is because you're like, oh, it's just he only has 4 kids with 4 different women.
No, I only say only because we thought he had more.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm saying only because I thought he had more. 4 kids to me is a lot. 3 kids is a lot to me, even with the same mama and daddy. That's a lot of kids.
You mean like your parents? Don't your parents got what, 4 kids?
There's 4 of us. That's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
2 is a lot.
I mean, 2 is more feasible, but 2 is a lot.
2 is a lot.
But I think
2 are expensive. In 2023, 2 kids is expensive. So all these people who got more than that, God bless you.
He said he was going to get a vasectomy, and then when they brought it up again, like after 4 years later, when he had 4 kids, or 4 kids later, he was like, "My body, my choice." I said, "Okay, okay, sorry, true," but he needs to be stopped. And again, my thing is, and I'm not saying that anybody who has any kind of illness should not have kids, but those parents have to also consider if their child develops this illness, are you prepared for that? Have you talked about that? But he doesn't plan.
What illness does he have? Lupus?
He has lupus, kidney, something. And a lot of people talk about he having all these kids so that he'll have kidney supply of kidneys.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Because they'd at least 4 of them would probably be a match. I know people who have kids specifically for organ donation.
They've said that out loud.
I don't know them personally. But for example, there was that movie that was made on that where they had one daughter who was very sick. She had she kept on going through treatments and she needed a transplant. She needed an organ, and they had the second child specifically for this to be able to donate an organ to the first child. You never seen that movie? And then the little girl ended up taking her parents to court.
The one that they wanted to take the organ from.
Correct. Ended up taking her parents to court.
Okay. So maybe he is lining up a bunch of
maybe
donors because you only.
But did you hear about the other day how he was able to name all his other kids, didn't name dark skin one? The name of the dark skin one?
The last one?
Is that the dark skin one?
Yeah, Onyx Ice Cold Cannon.
Okay.
Oh no. Rise Messiah is the last one, but that's with one that had two of his other babies. But I think the one before that in November was Onyx Ice Cole, because the mom's last name is Cole Cannon.
Hmm.
And I can see that he named all of his kids. I can see that because there are some really dumb names. Really horrible names. Like just bad. Most of them are very, 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 very bad names.
Very
Zillion,
outlandish.
Zillionaire, Zion Mixalala Dion. What? Something Zebulon, Powerful Queen. Like, okay, you could have named them a Nigerian name that meant Powerful Queen. You didn't have to literally name this child Powerful Queen. And then in the picture, she has a broken leg. Is she powerful? But that's just me.
Don't throw shade on the baby, Brandy.
I'm not. I'm throwing shade on the person who named these children. Like, but there's Inspector Pilot. There's somebody whose child is named Inspector Pilot. I think when you have money, you're like, hey, it doesn't matter what your name is. You're not filling out an application. Let's name you Rainbow.
Well, they named the one Apollonia. What's her name? Apollona?
Who?
Isn't what's her name? She was Kanye West's girlfriend before Kim.
Amber Rose?
Mm-hmm. Didn't she have like a daughter? Or somebody had a kid and called her Apollonia.
I mean, Apollonia. Okay, that's I guess because I'm used to that name.
Really?
Apollonia? Yeah, that's that the chick from Color Purple. I mean,
No.
Purple Rain. That's Princess thing.
Okay.
But Inspector Pilot, stop it. But whatever. Okay, well, Nick, man, look. Okay.
So question time is Nick Cannon and his pistol shooter.
Yeah, he needs to start shooting blanks. Get the vasectomy and just start
His
shooting
body,
blanks.
his choice, Brandy.
Right.
Let me tell you from personal experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
My father has a lot of children,
Mm-hmm.
all from different women.
Okay.
I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
It's like common play there.
Right, but that doesn't make it right. My dad has multiple children from multiple women. It's still irresponsible. I don't care.
It is absolutely irresponsible, especially when you're not raising your kids.
And my dad was very active in our life. It's still irresponsible. Nick needs to get his vasectomy and just start shooting blanks. It ain't gonna affect nobody. You'll still be fine. You can still enjoy the act thereof. And it's reversible. So just take a break. Give us all a break. Darn it.
I mean, he done made 12. You've overachieved at this point. Unless you're trying to beat the Duggars.
Oh, girl.
19 and counting. Isn't that what it was called?
Well, there's some that it is. But there's some guy, he has 32 kids.
Yes, there's one. Isn't he in Tampa?
Girl, I don't know. I don't
know. There's one person. I know there was one person who had 30 something kids, and I believe he lived in Tampa. Because I remember I was in Tampa when I heard about that man.
Well, if women are still having his children, they need to work on themselves. 34 kids. I'm sorry, you have 34 kids, sir. Who fathered
And do you know about that? I remember that. Do you hear about that one guy who had like the baby moms and he said, "Nah, I told you guys to have the abortion. You didn't have it. That's not my problem."
He said he's not going to wear a condom. That's their fault. That was irresponsible on their parts.
Mhm.
I mean, he was responsible. Well, to a point. He's spreading. He could be very well spreading disease, but
That's exactly where I'm going with that.
But he did, and I feel like Nick Cannon could be also. But because remember, I'm sure these aren't the only women he had sex with. I'm sure he's finagling other women in between.
Of course he does. He got money.
But he told him, he's like, I don't want no kids. Ain't gonna have no parts of the kids. Ain't gonna take care of the kids. Ain't gonna be there for you or them kids. And I don't believe in pulling out. So, and they were still willing. That's their fault. That's their fault. And I mean, like,
and he said, I'm not paying no child support.
Yeah, that's what he said. But I showed when he was in that video, making that video in that car, to been like, here he is. If he starts driving, I can go ahead and lock him up.
Whoop, whoop.
Until he pay that child support. And then I'm gonna go online and be like, he paid it. He said he wasn't gonna pay it, but he did. But yeah, anyway.
He ain't got money to pay no child support, child.
Well, he gonna be in there for a minute then. I just saved some woman from him.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But anywho, so next week we're gonna actually talk about what I want to talk about this week, which was the red flags. So y'all be ready for next week.
Yes, I was looking forward to the red flags conversation. I was gonna make my list.
It was my mom's birthday yesterday, so I wasn't even ready for yesterday. But
it's okay, I forgive you.
Huh?
It's okay, I forgive you.
Thank y'all. Make your list for
Are we
next
talking
week.
about red flags and green flags or just red flags?
Both. What men should look for when it comes to women. As a woman, what men should look for when it comes to women. What flags, what you should be careful of, that kind of thing. So if you're a guy, you're doing what red flags women should look out for. Okay? Good.
So we giving them the code book?
Yes, we are.
I don't know if I agree with this one, Brandy.
That's all right.
I was just gonna put a list of red flags.
I mean, if you don't want to share any red flags, you want to share all the green ones, go for it. All that means.
Nah, it's okay. I'll help them out.
Not mentioned are red flags. So yeah. So next Wednesday, 9 p.m.
I could be a little toxic.
Well, these aren't about us. Let me have that. These aren't about us. We're warning them against other women.
Okay. All right, girl.
All right. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Always.
All right. Bye.
Later. So there y'all have it. Nick Cannon needs to be stopped. Nick Cannon needs to control himself. And I get it that, okay, sure, he's planning his children. He's working that all out. But you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan after you have those children. You want these children, they're planned. Let's have a baby. Cool. What are we going to do after these kids come into the world? How are we going to work the time? How are we going to make this family dynamic work? How are we going to incorporate everybody else, including the mothers? I guess Country Brain has some kind of idea of how he's going to work it out. Y'all next door neighbors. So he can be like, hey, we're outside. Let's go. Come. That makes it much easier. You don't have to drive anywhere. I'm not mad at that. There's still a lot of kids though. So what do y'all think? Talk about in the comments. Is Nick Cannon responsible? Does he need to start shooting blanks? In other words, get a vasectomy?